everyone. It's DE week. Awesome. So DE starts this Thursday. If you haven't registered, there's plenty of time to register. Actually, we had over the week, we had 2 rooms become available. So if you do not have a room, text Kat. Her number will be on the screen tonight, and text her and get it locked in tonight. If you don't get one of those 2 rooms, pitch a tent. Sleep on the beach. It doesn't matter. Get to DE. It's going to be an awesome DE event. Saturday night, we have a all-white party. So for me, all I got to do is take my shirt off, and I'm dressed all white. Everybody else probably to wear something white, but I'm walking nude, walking around white. So you may not want to go to that party. I'm just kidding. But it's an all-white party at the poolside Saturday night. I know everybody's stoked for DE. I know the registration's very high. A lot of people coming. You can fly in a plane without a mask now. There's really no excuse. So planes, trains, automobiles, hitchhike, whatever you have to do to get DE, it's on Thursday night through Sunday morning. And tonight, speaking of DE, we got probably one of the longest attendees in the history of DE. She started going to DE as a CA in the 80s or early 80s, 1980, and she's been in practice for 32 years in York, Pennsylvania. If you've been around DE at all the past few years, you know her, you love her. She is just the epitome of what Dr. Sigafus taught and what Dr. Sid taught about give, love, and serve out of your own abundance with no expectation in return. From York, Pennsylvania, let's give it up for Darcy Andresen. Love you, girl. Go.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here with you all. And I'm so excited about DE being here in 2 days. DE has been part of my life, like Andy said, since 1980, 81, when I was a CA. I say by the grace of God, I was led to this chiropractor's office. His name was Dennis Messina. And he was actually Joe Kursel's best friend. And they would always get together, talk down chiropractic. They'd have fun together. And it was, like I said, a blessing that I was directed into his office. And I worked there as a CA for 5 years. He introduced me to DE. I think it was probably the second, maybe the first year I was working there. And then all through school, I went to Life. I went to DE, and then I continued to go. And I have missed several in the past couple of years, but that was with personal and family. And then also I tend to miss on Octobers because Vinny and we do our fishing and hunting then, and the fishing is up in New York, and it just happens to usually fall on the weekend of DE. But my heart is always there, whether I'm there physically or not. But I can honestly say that DE has made me the chiropractor that I am today and have been for the past 32 years. And I live by the principle of the lasting purpose principle, which is to give, to love, and to serve. And you do it with no attachment, and you do it out of your own abundance, and you don't expect anything in return. But when you do it from your heart, not expecting, God blesses you more than you're actually giving. So it's a very beautiful principle to live by. I live it both in the office and out of the office. And the more I'm in tune with that principle, the easier my life flows. Now in the office, when I'm in tune with it, as you that go to DE know that it's not about the numbers, but it's about the desire to serve the people. And when your desire is to serve the people according to your ability, God sends you those people, and then that's your numbers. And where you're at right now is exactly where you need to be, because that is really all that you can serve. But as you prepare yourself, then you can serve more. And the best way to prepare yourself is by shedding the husk and becoming aware, humble, and obedient to the voice within. And that's the DE principle, the dynamic essential principle, to become aware, humble, and obedient to the voice within, and then act accordingly. And how do we become aware, humble, and obedient? Well, a lot of times it takes a lot of discipline and focus and doing the things that you need to do to silence yourself. And a lot of speakers will say what they do in the morning to prepare themselves. They'll get up maybe an hour early, maybe 2 hours early. I remember Rob Schiffman, he used to say that he would get up, he'd go out in his boat in the middle of the lake and pray. And then he'd come back in, and then he'd read green books, and he'd meditate, and then he'd be going to the office, and he would adjust not based on the hours, but until the last patient was there. And I always tell my CAs, even though we might have specific hours, I'm in the office until the last patient comes in. And if someone calls and says they're running late, they always come back and ask me. And I say, I will be here for any patient that needs to come in. So my office hours are basically open and hours, but I do have hours. And then if someone needs to be seen like on a weekend, I have them come to the house, and they always say they don't want to impose on me. But I say, you're not imposing, you're coming to my house. This is actually even easier than going to the office. I don't even have to get into a car. So it's been a blessing to be able to go to DE, and it's a blessing right now to be able to share with you parts of my life. Since I did get married, another big part of my life is my husband. And then we do a lot of hunting and fishing. And if I just kind of move to the side, you can see in the background, those are some of the fish that we've caught. And it's truly exciting. But I'll tell you what, without DE and chiropractic and serving the people, my life wouldn't be fulfilled, because I love chiropractic. I love serving people, and I love giving of myself to people. And it's just fun to be in the office. It really is. So the way I prepare myself in the morning is, the best thing I do is I wake up, I shower, I get a cup of coffee, and guess what I do? I go on the morning call. It's 7:00 on the Eastern time. Andy gets up at 6, and further west, they have to get up even earlier, but it's my understanding that there's also one that they do like 10:00 Eastern. So those on the Western coast can chime in not quite so early. That would be at 4:00 in the morning. Then you'd be on Rob Shipman's schedule. But it's the breaths which help you to center yourself. And when you center yourself, then you can be more humble. And when you're more humble, you're a better servant, because God starts to use you. And with the breaths, there's 4 of us that do it every morning. It's different people. And it's Dr. Sid's breath of 7, 14, 14, 14. And then you clear yourself. But in the mornings, what we do is the I am affirmations. And what it does is it puts you in a mindset that you are powerful, not that you have to become powerful, or that you are love. You did not have to become love, that you're peace, and you're happy, and you're youthful, and you're abundant, and you're healthy. And so each and every single person in their special way gives a message. And when you're open, you receive it, and you're blessed by it. And then you can go forth and go into the office and serve the people. But after that, I just come downstairs, and right to the right of me, I just have like a couch that I sit on, and I meditate just a little bit longer, not that much longer. And Katrina told me I can't touch my phone, so I can't show you, but I can tell you on the desk, I have a little book that says Meditating with Angels. And I just open it, and I read one of the messages, and then I close my eyes and I meditate for a little bit. And then on the table right now, I have a green book, and it's called, it's the Chiropractic Philosophy, Science, and Art. And I'll rotate that with other green books. And then to the right of that, from DEs of the past, when I take notes, I have a little tablet there, and I'll read like one page of the notes. And like on this one here, it happens to be actually it was the last DE, and it was with Paul Blumsack. And so that happens to be the page there. And then after that, I take this book here. It's Joel Goldsmith. And this one here is Practicing the Presence. And I'll just open it to the page where I'm at, and I'll read it. And then I close my eyes, and I meditate just a little bit longer. And then I have another book here, and this is from old DEs. And this happens to be a DE. I'll tell you, let me put my glasses on. My brother-in-law, he just got cataracts removing. And when they do that, they put those lens implants in. And it's my understanding that there's 3 levels of implants. You can have the basic, you can have the medium, or you can have the Cadillac. And the Cadillac allows you to see up close and see far. So when it becomes time, if it becomes time where I do need to have cataracts removing and a lens implant, one, I will never have to wear glasses for the future. Right now I wear contacts. And then two, I will never have to wear reading glasses, but right now I have to put my reading glasses on. So anyways, this book here, where what I do is from the old DEs I took and I rewrote it. This is actually from 10/29 of 1993, and it was Dick Santo. And you know what? I'm just going to read this page to you because it's awesome. So when I listen to the speakers, of course, you write down what's the message is being given to you, and someone next to you might write down something totally different. But this is just one page from what I received from him on the October 29th, 1993 DE. Discipline. I am ready. Prepare yourself. Make me a hollow vessel. Cleanse me. Remove my impurities. Allow the power to flow through me. Read books to set your mindset. Read spiritual books, green books, and the Bible. Make me a hollow bone at both ends, above, down, inside out. The grace of God always flows. Don't be ordinary. Know what you want and write it down. Become one of mind. The Great Spirit flows through the hollow bone. Accept in full faith. Take no prisoners. Speak with authority. Speak with power. Accept chiropractic in full faith. The power that made the body heals the body. Commit to chiropractic 100%. You are in the world, but not of the world. Follow me, leadership, and full faith. Now, that is awesome to me. And growing up in DE as a CA and as a student, and now keeps me inspired to do what it is that I need to do to serve the people through chiropractic. And the more humble I can make myself, the more I can make myself a hollow bone, the more God can use me to deliver the message to the people, but also to connect them back to the source. And as the saying up at DE has, nothing is bigger than life. Nothing is bigger than life. And we as chiropractors connect people back to the source of life, making their life better emotionally, physically, and spiritually, because they become one with the source. And there's actually two subluxations when you boil it down. There's the physical subluxation, and we correct that. And then there's the mental subluxation, which we ourselves have to correct. And there's many different ways of doing it. And like I said, it can be reading books. It can be going to church. It can be going to inspirational seminars. It can be going to retreats. It can be going to Sigafus's old gatherings. I know Pete has Pure and Powerful. There's many principled seminars out there, and it's all to help you to be the best you that you can be. And it's the relationships that we have in this life that fulfills us. It's not what we have or what we've done, but it's the relationships with the people that we have, whether it's our spouse, our family, our DE brothers, band of brothers, the sisters, our patients, and any place that you go where there's service. Just think, without those people, you wouldn't be being served. Just even walking into Walmart, they used to have the door greeters, and then they took them away. And then they had the cash register people, and now they're taking them away. But every single one of those people, they have a purpose in this life. And like people say, driving through a toll booth, they're taking that away. But there's still relationships everywhere. And sometimes I think back in the olden days, and I was telling Katrina earlier, I still consider myself pretty old fashioned because it's rare that I use a cell phone. Right now I'm on Vinny's cell phone, but I do have a cell phone. I do have a cell phone. And technology is nice, but to me, it kind of takes away from the unity that we have as people, because you're looking down into a phone and it's just a phone. But we can stay in contact where maybe we couldn't before. But when it's, when you're there in the presence, you're one with those people. And just like when you go to DE, it's being at DE that makes the difference. It allows you to grow spiritually. because it does help you to clear the husk. You know, we live in this world, and so constantly we're always receiving input from this world. And if we're not careful, we can, as BJ Palmer used to say, we could tune into stations, radio stations that aren't God stations. And then what they can do is they can take us away from our center. And living in the world, there is things that are always going to happen to us. You know, life isn't just one easy road. It's the ups and downs and the ups and downs. But I'll tell you what, the things that gave us the greatest pain or the greatest challenges, when we confront them, we actually grow the most. You know, when you want a kite to fly, you run against the wind. So when there's resistance, guess what we do? We go deep down within and we find that inner strength, and that inner strength is God. God is always there. And many times we might not feel that he's there, but he is there. And as long as we find our way back, we start to feel the love. And at DE, that's what it is. It's love. It's love, because when people go there, they're giving of themselves, and they're opening themselves, and they're opening their hearts, and people need us and we need them. You know, we're not in it alone. We're all one. We really are all one. And sometimes if we see things in others we don't like, if we look deep enough, it's usually the things in ourselves that we don't like. So then we can say, okay, what is it that I need to do? You know, why have I created this blockage? So every little situation in life is a beautiful experience when you break it down and get into the inner truth. And so I'm thankful about DE, about going to DE, being chosen to be a chiropractor, and experiencing the relationships I have now at DE. They're great. You know, everything goes through different, you know, just like the tides come in and the tides go out. People come in and people go out, but people are in our lives at a certain time for a certain reason, and then they might not be in our lives, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't purposeful or meant to be at that time. And we learn from it and we grow from it and we blossom from it. We blossom like a beautiful rose, or you know, it's what we bring to the rose where we see the beauty. It's what we bring to situations that we see the beauty. And life is beautiful. And it's important that we live from a state of gratitude. You know, a lot of times when so many things are given to us, then we might start to take things for granted. And it's important to humble ourselves and see that if it wasn't for other people and the life up to this point, we wouldn't have the blessings that we receive. You know, even the smallest blessings. If you were just to take a moment right now, and well, the first thing, just close your eyes, like take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath. And just relax. And now let's have a little gratitude. I mean, gratitude right now, just to be able to be on an iPhone or a tablet or a computer and listening to the message, but being here for each other. You know, just gratitude for this experience right now. And take a moment and just think of gratitude for a person in your life, whether it's present or whether it's in the past. Think of someone, just whoever happens to pop into your head right now. Just think of them and feel them and see them. And then feel why they give you gratitude. Feel the emotion, feel the feeling. They're a gift. They're a gift from God. Life is a gift from God. And then, I mean, you can think of something material. We all have material things, but let's just take like a house, you know, whether you live in a house, in an apartment, a condo, wherever you might happen to live, I'm sure there's a roof over your head. But I know there's millions and millions of people in this world that don't have a roof over their head, yet we do. And when we go to our offices, there's a roof over our head and there's a location to serve. And those of you that have gone on missions, you can still serve, but there's not a roof over your head. But those people that come, when you go to the third world countries, many of them might not have a roof over their head, and they might walk miles. And yet sometimes we just take for granted, where we live? Or how about what we eat? So many times we're in a rush. And when we're in a rush, we just eat the food down fast. I know I've done that all my life, especially when you're young. You go to school and you had like 10 minutes to eat a sandwich, chips, cookies, a milk, and an ice cream cone. 10 minutes. I learned to eat fast. Then when I got home, before I went to swim practice, I would eat a dinner really, really fast. And then when I would come home, I'd eat probably 4 or 5 ice cream bars because I was starving really fast, because our mom made us go to bed early. We had to be in bed by like 7:30 at night. So it didn't leave a lot of time. So think of something you ate today and give thanks for it, because it's a gift. It's a gift from God. And a gift from God, a gift from Mother Nature. How about Mother Nature? The sun, the moon, the stars, the water, the streams, the forest, the shade that it provides. Or how about the cool breeze from the ocean, or the sand that we walk on? And then the bounty that God gives us to be able to eat. And if someone's a vegetarian, how the soil can be tilled and the seeds planted. And then with time, vegetables grow and we harvest them. And it's time. And give appreciation. Appreciation. And sometimes it's the little things. Just think of something really, really little. Really little, like maybe every morning you have a special cup that you drink a cup of coffee from. Or maybe you were given a pen at some time, and it's a special pen, and you always use that pen to write notes or cards or letters. Or maybe it's a favorite keychain that someone gave you. Something really little, because little things are gifts too, whether it was given or not. And there's so many things to be grateful for. How about this one? How about the skill or the gift that God gave us to give people? So as chiropractors, we're chiropractors. But how about our spouse? They have a gift, but maybe we have a gift other than, chiropractic. Maybe someone's a painter, an artist, a singer. It's their gift to us. So appreciate each and every single person. And, let's appreciate life. The miracle that we are brought together by a sperm and an egg. And then in 10 months, we're born with life. And that life is a gift from God. And what we do with that life is our gift back to God. So I love and appreciate all of you. I look forward to seeing you at DE, and have a great life, whether you're at DE, whether you're in the office, or no matter what you're doing. I love each and every single one of you. Bye-bye. Okay.
Well, Darcy. What I'm grateful for is you. I mean, you've been a big impact in my life and hundreds of people throughout DE. So, so grateful for your message. So grateful. So looking forward to sharing with you over this weekend. And, you said that there's 2 subluxations, a physical and a mental. And the mental, for me, one of the best ways to get rid of that is to go on DE and clearing out the husk and become a hollow vessel. So let's all commit to meeting at DE and getting rid of those subluxations so we can come back next week ready to serve bigger and better than ever before.
Thank you, Andy.
Spot on tonight. Love and appreciate you. Everybody,
love you too.
The white party. Again, there's a couple rooms available. Get them. Can't wait to give everybody a great big hug. And if you can't be there in person, I've had to miss, like Darcy had to miss, the virtual is good. It's not the same energy, but it is good. So hopefully see everybody this weekend. Love and appreciate you all. Safe travel.
Love you. See ya.
Yeah.